Right, I mean, he's something like, hey, here's this, give that.
Tell you.
But no, it was.
The lights are on.
You missed it, Miss Shannon?
Yes.
I've been told you 3 days is the max for me.
Tom. Or the, or this. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Dale.
Wait.
Start till 6:30. 30 seconds.
Oh,
What you talking about?
well,
Well, when you talk, you know, but hey.
that's right.
Yeah.
30 seconds can be a turn. You're dying. How's Joe doing? He's surviving this cold weather.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's gonna catch you on Saturday, I think.
Oh, yeah. All right. It's 6:30. I call a meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public participation. If you'd like to speak to the council, please fill out the form and hand it to Shannon. Please indicate on the form if you wish to speak during the discussion on a specific agenda item. Remember, council members are not allowed to answer questions during public participation. And please state your name and address for the record. Shannon, do we have anything?
We have a couple tonight, Mayor. The first one is Tim House.
Thank you. I'm Tim House, here representing myself, but also the Bartonville store and also for the benefit of several of the Old Town businesses. My address at the store is 96 McMakin Road in Bartonville. I'm here tonight basically just to ask your permission, your allowance to be on the February agenda to present the case when I believe you can allow us all to connect to the existing sewer line that's in McMakin Road without it causing any problems for anyone. I want to emphasize, we're not asking for, we will not be asking for any extensions or expansions of the existing system. We'll just be talking about the ability to connect to the line that was put in with the intention of serving us. It's already in place, ready to go. Now, I know there is some concern, there's been some concern expressed that allowing us to connect to this line might jeopardize your ability to limit further development or high density development. So the primary purpose of our presentation will be to show you why we believe that is not the case at all. We businesses are all in favor of keep Bartonville country. We don't want to promote high density development. We're in a position, I've done a lot of research, I can present engineering information, legal opinions, the opinion of the Lantana district, all which should be able to show you that you should not have a concern that it's going to jeopardize your ability to limit further development. I've also been advised that no matter what the facts I present might be, there's some concern that you'll have to represent whatever the public opinion is. I understand that. And with that in mind, given the chance to make a presentation, I will bring considerable public opinion to bear. And I think we can hopefully, again, make this almost a non-issue. Because it really, I think it's a false premise to believe that allowing us to connect to the sewer that's put in to serve us will cause you to have to approve high density development further west. Tonight, again, I'm not asking for your approval of the sewer. I'm asking for your agreement to let me present the facts to you, present my case. And that's really all I'm doing tonight. If you will consider that, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support. Yeah.
And the second speaker is Pat Adams.
Pat Adams, 1221 Glenview Lane.
And unfortunately, I'm speaking on the other side of that issue, and we'll speak again when you make your presentation. I look forward to hearing that, but I would tell you that having been here for 38 years and seen all of the things that come and go, as well as members of the council, we have a great council now that is very much rural oriented. I'm very opposed to doing what you're asking because I've seen the development and I've also seen the push of developers. Once that sewer line comes across and I hear what you're saying, and again, I look forward to your presentation, but I would be firmly opposed to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all I have, Mayor.
Appointed representative liaison reports, Denton County Emergency District.
Keep going, at another meeting, hopefully he'll make it here.
Okay, thank you. Police Department, December stats, Chief Reese.
Mayor, Council, good evening. This past month, we had 90 calls for service. We did have 9 collisions as well. This finishes up the year, and I'll get to it. There have been some increases in our crashes, I think like 40%. And other than that, we really have just only part 2 crimes. We had larcenies. One of the thefts was at Kroger, another one was at a resident. And then our self-initiated activity, officers did 156 building checks, closed patrols. They did 35 traffic complaints, running radar enforcement. They made 226 traffic stops, 13 vacation house walks, and they had 20 walkthrough amongst the businesses for a total of 450 traffic stops, as I said, and 226. The part 1 crimes, like I said, one was at Kroger and one was at a resident. Our part 1 crimes did drop, although they're little numbers from 31 to 20, you know, when you look at that. So the percentages are really a little out of whack kind of thing. But anyway, a 35% decrease. We had an increase of calls for services about 12%. Traffic collisions did increase 40% from last year. And total traffic stops were increased. The officers, we had 45% more traffic stops than last year. So that's sort of the year end. Calls for service for the last 2 months were down, which is good. You know, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Traffic, the accidents have gone up. Of course, most all of those, as I said, always on 407, but that's our report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What area on 407 is most, that show most activity on it?
So when we did when I looked at that, the majority of them were at, Bridge Crossing at 407 and Hilltop. Hilltop was number 1, I think Bridge Crossing was number 2, but Hilltop is the number 1 on 407. I've actually worked 2 myself there.
Is that where truckers?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yeah.
That's a dangerous, there are people
Yeah.
trying to.
It's that curve, and then people just, and if you go, a lot of times it's in the, like in the morning, sun's coming up and people at that stop sign, they pull out and they try. Sometimes I think they try to get across, sort of leapfrog, and that causes an issue, but that's where the majority of our accidents occur.
Now, isn't that gonna be a text out to address that if they ever do with the intersection here?
Yeah, that would have to be a text dot issue, just like the one we did for IT Neely, the signal light, and then of course Razor, of course. As you know, we had some people like it, some people didn't like it, so. It's one of those things that, I have not looked into that. If we need to, I can start looking at text dot. To show the data. I'm not sure, I think Lantana, Mercer, I think one of those individuals that talked to TxDOT in the past. But if you'd like, I can go ahead and reach out to TxDOT and see what we can do about it, but usually it takes quite a while, but I don't mind looking
Like
into
years,
that.
but we
Yeah,
can start, because they always ask for crash data.
I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be, the numbers are gonna be there for them. I just know that we do, you know, it's not like we have 100 accidents there, but, you know, I can go ahead and I have contact out there that we can reach out to.
I think they were looking for 5 a year or more, and there's that many, isn't there, at Hilltop?
Yeah, I would have to look at the email I sent out, and I should have had that tonight, but I want to say there were like 11.
They're part of that, too.
Yeah.
We approved our part of that,
Of what?
of that that hilltop, that. That turn lane?
Yeah, we did the term.
We did the turn
You
lane,
already did that.
and we did the expansion on the entranceway there, but we didn't ever do anything about a traffic count or traffic study. I know by,
That wasn't part of the same.
Yes,
Yeah, we have a traffic study for the number of vehicles that go down 407.
Yeah.
Are y'all talking about wanting to do signal light kind of thing, or what are you wanting to do to try and? Is that sort of what?
That's a text dot road.
just at the
Right.
intersection. yeah.
But we could we would have to send in the data to them and they'd have to make sure that it meets their requirements. And I don't, Mayor, I can't remember off the top of my head the number, but that was the number one location. I think we were looking at accidents when we were talking about, Cheater and, 407.
yeah. When we started working on or contacting TxDOT 3 or 4 years ago regarding IT dealing, I think they were looking for 3 to 5 a year, something like that, crashes at any location to, I guess, to justify a lot of your signal.
We had at least, I wanna say 11, but I'll have to go back and look at our
Okay.
data. It may have been more than that.
I know
I'll
only
be more,
one that cut through that area going up to Denton, was it Medical City in Denton when my wife was
yeah.
doing that twice a day. Especially coming back late in the afternoon and mid-afternoon. But sometimes there's 6 or 7 cars backed up there at traffic signals. And you'll notice what happens is people get upset because the people who want to turn right have no turn lane to get into. The one that want to go left have to wait till that traffic, and when this lane clears, the other one gets backed up and they're beeping and honking and trying to go around each other. And you see how this is going to unfold, what's gonna happen. So I think the sooner we get started on bringing their attention to that, the better off we'll be.
Let me reach out and I'll give you an update, next council meeting on the total numbers for all the intersections. I sent it out. I should have had that. I don't have my computer. I can pull it up for you, but I'll get that data, again for I think I did a 3-year, study on the most, intersections there for 07, but I can get that started and see what
Thank you.
we need to go for.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Ma'am.
Administration, Shannon?
Thank you, Mayor. Bank balances as of today, January 20th, 2026, still trying to say 26. General fund is $4,496,010.64. The reserve account has $844,428.21. After we talked at the last council meeting, we wanted to put in a new sheet for reserves, so the next page, which is 21 of your packet.
Shannon, would you just tell us what page you're on when you start reading? Thank you.
Okay, page 21.
Okay, thank you.
This is the new sheet that we've added in for the reserve revenue. We wanted to start watching to make sure we can get to our balance of we want $1 million in here. So the bank balance as of December 31st was $841,749.15. We earned in interest in December $2,254.01. And in January, we got it on the 12th and we got it was a little increase. That was $2,679. So it's starting to see the interest is going up since we've added the balance when we brought in that transfer of 183,000. We're moving forward. Next page 22, which is all general fund revenues. This is for the first quarter of fiscal year 26. Budget remaining after 3 months, the first quarter should be close to 75%. We're at 69.40 remaining, so we received a little bit more on some of the items in revenue, a little bit higher than projected revenue for the quarter, which is good. We've revenue collected in December totaled $509,606.58. And you'll see of that, property tax was $402,015.32. So everybody started to pay their property tax. Deadline to get your 25 property tax done is the end of January, and then the fees will start being accrued. So I've already started looking and we've got another healthy deposits in January for property tax. Any questions before I move forward? Okay, page 23, which is the sales tax, 12-month rolling average. We brought in December 25, reflecting October 25 sales activity, total of $64,394.68. This brought the 12-month average to $82,683, which was an increase of only $47 from the prior month. So that's why the line is practically horizontal. Any questions before we move on? And page 24, which is all general fund expenditures. Total expenditures for December total $222,202.44, leaving 75.98% of the overall budget remaining, which is anticipated spending of a little over 8% a month or 25 per quarter. So we're looking good. Then just to remind you that we talked about this in the last month, that several of the annual expenses have already been paid this year, so it's gonna start leveling out, and you'll see that, because we've already paid dispatch, radio, those agreements, and then our insurance for the annual year. And then if we wanna go to the next page, 25, to break down the expenses for administration. Administration recorded an expenditure of $121,732.53. Leaving an overall remaining budget of 78.47, which is slightly above that benchmark that we've been talking about at 25%, so doing pretty well. The average is a continuation of the overages that we discussed last month, TML, IRP, insurance, annual maintenance, and higher contractor rates this fiscal year. Do you have any questions on this page? On page 26, which is the expenditures by department, which is the police. The police department incurred expenditures of $94,597.44 in December, leaving 70.85% of the department's budget remaining. This is lower than the benchmark of 25%, but also have to look into that we paid the annual on the dispatch and the radio. So technically, we're still on target.
Which was that 10,000?
It's like almost 12.
Okay.
That's what
I
helped
mean,
on
it's a
this.
one-time deal, right?
Annual,
There you go.
yes. If you have any questions on the monthly before we go to the quarterly,
Are we worried that we've not, I see fuel and lubricants from the vehicle stuff are high? Are we worried that, do we need to rethink about a budget amendment for that, or is there something? Wow, I mean, and the numbers aren't huge, it was just.
There's 86% left. You're looking at.
I think we're.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at it backwards, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about.
no, we're good, we're
I'm thinking
actually,
about the,
We got
yeah, we got 11, we're doing pretty good on that.
you're, that's budget left, not budget used.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble with that budget years.
Good.
thank you all for helping me answer that question. Okay, going to the quarterly investment report, it covers the month of October, November, December of 2025. We had October 1st of 2025, our beginning book and market value was $4,733,410. At the end of December 31st, the ending book and market value was $5,003,016. We earned $50,677 in interest over those 3 months. And we have an increase in investment holdings of the market value of $269,606. I do want to point out on page 29 of your packet, our interest is going down. It follows the Fed rate. And so if you look on toward the middle of the page, in October, our APR was 4.25, November it went down to 4, and then December it went to 0.375. And then also, our logic account kind of did the same thing, it decreased each month as well. So we are watching that. South State does give us what matches what the Feds give. So as the Fed goes down, we go down and vice versa. But we did earn $50,676 in interest over that quarter.
Now if we could get a fixed rate. So then-
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't work at that way.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Jen. Consent agenda. This agenda consists of non-controversial housekeeping items required by law. Items may be approved with a single motion. Items may be removed from the consent agenda by any council member by making such request prior to the motion and a vote on the consent agenda. Number one, consider approval of the December 16th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the December 16th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. F, public hearings and regular items, discuss and consider approval of ordinance, council of the town of Bartonville ordering a joint general election to be held on May 2nd, 2026 for the purpose of electing one mayor and two council members, place 2 and place 4, for 2-year terms each, providing for a joint election services agreement with Denton County and authorizing the mayor to execute necessary documents for the conduct of the election on behalf of the town. Shannon?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the annual election ordinance that we have that we bring to you every year, that we just need to call the election in case we do have contested races. And again, as the mayor stated, it's for the mayor, place 2 and place 4. And then also for a joint election agreement, which we have done numerous times. We have contracted with Denton County to help.
Any questions?
I'm trying to remember, when we do that, for just our local, because that's all this is, it would be encompassing, right? Does that require, as the general election with the county judge and all the bells and whistles that goes with that?
County does their elections in November, so this is just the general, so this is mostly cities in May.
Yeah, people like ISD.
Yeah. The school district, yes, thank you.
And council.
So it would not be near what it would be had it been a general.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The cost,
No, the cost is gonna be probably between 10 and 14,000.
Which is about what it is.
That's, we haven't had an election the last couple of years, so we haven't been able to see the increases. But when going to the general entities meeting at Denton County last week, there is a new law from the commissioners courts. They have approved any of the election judges and clerks to get an increase, just like Denton County employees do every year. And then it also depends on how many people, how many cities actually have an election. Because they can share polling locations and stuff like that. So it really depends on how many cities go into it.
You have a motion?
I move to approve the ordinance of the town council of the town of Bartonville ordering a general election to be held on May 2nd, 2026 for the purpose of electing one mayor and two council members, places 2 and 4, for 2-year terms each, providing for a joint services contract with Denton County and authorizing the mayor to execute the joint services contract on behalf of the town.
Second. All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, council. Future agenda items, are there any items, council would like to request for upcoming agenda? Time being 6:52. During the meeting, and just a reminder that next in February, it'll be, our meeting will be February 11th, which is Wednesday at 6:30. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Can you put that in front? Thank you, meeting adjourned. Twice for the second time.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. And thank you, Shannon.
Wednesday the 11th at 6:30. Thank you, Shannon.